a list of our top 10, and in the spirit of Christmas, we thought that
It's Christmas.
Christmas movies are the greatest, aren't they?
No, they're not.
What do you mean? You don't like
Uh,
Christmas movies?
no, I got like so for my top 10 list, 1 to 6 is actually Christmas movies I like. Everything else is just what I hate the least.
Really? How do you hate Christmas movies?
They're
Christmas
just
movies are the best.
they're just too magical and
Wait, wait,
lame
wait, wait,
and
wait. You're a Disney fan. You know Disney's all about magic, right? Like that's the magic of Disney. All
yeah,
their
but
movies are
Disney
magical.
magic is cool magic, you know. Christmas magic is like we gotta share, and it's not about getting the gifts, it's about giving them.
What movies are you watching about that?
Literally all they're all about that.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with you here. I mean, Christmas movies are about family. They're about hope and light and working together. Like, how do you not like to just it's right out of the Disney playbook. Isn't that what all Disney movies are about? Hope and positive thoughts and family and working together. Like, I think of like
Not
a
all Disney movies. There is hope in every Disney movie, but I don't know. It's more. I feel
family's
it's
the
more.
big aspect of a Christmas. A good Christmas movie is very family oriented.
That's your opinion.
Well, I guess we'll find out when we do this top 10 list.
Okay.
But we decided this month to do our top 10 Christmas. Well, okay, I decided because I love Christmas movies. Christmas movies are great. So we decided to do our top 10 list of Christmas movies, and Xavier begrudgingly apparently came up with his top 10.
I'm the Grinch.
I wonder if that's going to be on your list. So again, just to remind you, these are our favorite movies, not the top 10 best Christmas movies. Feel free to hit us up on what you think of our list, and be sure to on our comments post your top 10 list and see how you rank your movies. Would
And
you
if you hate Christmas, be sure to write it in the comments as well. You know, it's okay. I want more Christmas haters. You know, negativity, no
Christmas
positivity.
haters or Christmas movie haters?
Christmas movie haters. I don't actually hate Christmas, but
I think you're gonna be on your own on this Christmas movie. I'm gonna be honest. I think that the majority of the people watching this are gonna be like on my side on this and love Christmas movies.
no. I think you're just by yourself.
They
on this.
keep making Christmas movies. Clearly, there's an audience for Christmas movies.
Yeah, and it's a niche market.
Would you like to start with your 10, or do you want me to start?
I'll start with my
All right,
10.
go ahead. Your number
Okay.
10 movie.
My number 10 movie, I don't actually hate this movie, but I had to throw something in, so it's Die Hard. Uh, it's not really a Christmas movie, but it happens on Christmas, and it's actually a pretty good movie, so this is going on the list for me.
Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
I don't know about that. I would say, you know, you said there's lots of hope and everything. Die Hard has a lot of murder and death, and I don't know
The
if
good
that's
guys
what you
win. That's exactly what hope is all about.
the good guys win, but not after, you know, a couple of people die and they have families and they're not going to be home for Christmas now.
Okay. Well, my number 10 movie is a movie called The Shop Around the Corner. Most of you are probably like, what the hell is Mike
Yeah, I
talking
just
about?
thought that in my head. So
It's a movie from 1940, and it's a romantic comedy. And I'm going to tell you this. You may not have seen The Shop Around the Corner, but you might have seen the remake of it. It's called You've Got Mail. So if you've seen the movie You've Got Mail and you like that movie, go watch The Shop Around the Corner. It's not your traditional Christmas movie. It stars James Stewart and Margaret Sullivan. It takes place in Budapest, and basically the concept of this movie is a woman named Clara gets hired at a store, and when she gets hired, she annoys James Stewart's character to no end. Now, and James Stewart's character is named Alfred, and Alfred and Clara, they can't work together at all. Every time they work the same shift, they yell at each other, they get into huge arguments, they don't like each other at all. But little do either of them know that both of them have been corresponding by mail for months. And they plan to meet 2 weeks before Christmas.
ooh,
So-
interesting concept.
When they meet, just like in the movie You've Got Mail, James Stewart realizes that Clara is his date. And he's like, oh boy, what the hell? This is the girl that I'm in love with? So he pretends that he doesn't show up. So for 2 weeks, Clara thinks she's been stood up. But what James Stewart's really been doing is kind of playing nice at work, getting her used to the idea that James Stewart's actually a nice character. So the two of them kind of work together, and on Christmas Day, he finally lets her know that he's the person that that's been sending letters to each other, and they kiss, and that's how the movie kind of ends. It's very entertaining. It's James Stewart at his best. It'll make you emotional. If you like You've Got Mail, you'll love it. I personally think this movie's better than You've Got Mail. I think it's more emotional than You've Got Mail. I know I teared up a little. Not cried, but definitely teared up watching this movie. So that's my number 10. My number 9 movie is Bad Santa.
That's not bad. It's a pretty decent movie.
Bad Santa is a ridiculously funny movie. Now, this movie's not necessarily for everyone. It's a rated R kind of comedy. It's a rated R Christmas movie. We have Willie, Billy Bob Thornton. He basically goes to a mall every Christmas with his elf partner. And on Christmas Day, they rob the bank, or they rob the mall of all of its money, and then they live off that money for a year. Willie is an alcoholic, and that adds to like a lot of the fun in the movie. I think although Willie's funny, it's the side characters that really make up this movie. You have the kid. So in the Christmas that we're on, Willie meets this kid. This kid is just not the smartest person in the world. He's been bullied. He lives at home with his grandmother, who's like unconscious all the time. So he moves into this house and eats all of the food, abuses the kid, but eventually develops a soft spot for him. We have Lauren Graham's character, Mrs. Santa's sister, who just rides Santa in the hot tub. She's hilarious. John Ritter, it's like one of his last movies. He's in it. He's hilarious. He suspects something's bad with Billy Bob Thornton and wants to fire her because he sees him like having sex with a woman in the change stalls. And then you have Bernie Mac's character, who's just
rest
like,
in peace.
Well, same with John Ritter, right?
And John Ritter.
I know. So it's really good. Each character adds to the story. The worst part of this movie, though, they made a sequel.
Yeah. Of course they do.
I have to say that the funniest scene is any scene with Billy Bob Thornton and the kids, right? When he's on his lunch break. And he's just having his like sandwich, and this mom with a kid brings their kid to the Santa Claus and is like, "Can you tell Santa Claus what you want?" And he's like, "I'm on my lunch break." It's so funny. You'll be laughing from start to finish in this movie.
All right, so my number 9 is The Nightmare Before Christmas. So that's with Mr. Jack Skellington, and he discovers he's sick of being scary all the time, and he discovers this wonderful land called Christmas, and he just becomes obsessed with it. I think everyone knows it's Disney, Tim Burton, everyone loves that, right? And he just becomes obsessed with it, and he really tries to find the new me. He tries to bring Christmas to Halloween Town. I was gonna say I really like this movie, but that's a lie. So
how do you not like this movie? This movie's so good. It's Disney. Now you're just okay. Go ahead. I'm not gonna.
But I hate it the least. It's an interesting concept, and I like this movie. I like it for that. Honestly. Wait till top 6. That's when it gets good, guys. That's all I'm saying.
I just don't understand how Nightmare Before Christmas is not, you consider it a bad movie.
I don't think it's a bad movie. Cause it's about Christmas, man. It's just.
All right, number 8.
Number 8's Office Christmas Party. It's a pretty decent movie. I had some laughs. I'm not gonna lie. As a comedy, it was great. But then they always ruin it by trying to bring the Christmas magic in, and I'm just like, okay. It's just like, no thank you. If they just added the comedy part, I would have just loved it, because it was a great, no Office Christmas Party is that epic, right? But then they just had to really I don't know. Just get all. Let's make it about Christmas. What about you? What's your number 8?
My number 8 is Christmas Vacation. Now, growing up in my household, it was a joke. We traveled a lot, and my dad would constantly joke that our family were the Griswolds. Um, so I always had a special place for all the vacation movies, but to me the best was always Christmas Vacation, and it starts off the best, right? You have this family, they're singing Christmas carols on their way to get their Christmas tree, and just the blunder of errors that follow that mission to get the Christmas tree. They go into the middle of nowhere. They don't have any or tools to cut down the tree, so they have the roots there. The tree's like twice as big as the room. It's so much funny. The lights of the house, the squirrel scene, the family aspect that comes through it. The any of the vacation movies, but Christmas Vacation especially, is just about a dad who wants to have a great family great family Christmas. He wants to make it perfect so his family will always remember it. And everything he does just backfires.
But the perfection was them all together this whole time. Yeah.
No, not really. Yeah, okay, really. But it doesn't matter. It's still so good. It's
Lame
funny,
Christmas
it's
magic.
It's funny and great for the family. That's why you should watch that movie. It's funny and great for the family. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Well, maybe you should see the movie before you go and criticize it. Have you seen any of the not the remake, but any of the original vacation movies?
No, I have not actually. So
you should. The first one, the just regular vacation where they go to Wally's World, and Christmas are fantastic movies.
Okay, on their own. I'll give it a listen. Not the second one, but I'll try the first one.
Well, technically Christmas is the third one. European's the second one, and Vegas is the fourth one.
Ooh, Las Vegas.
They're all good.
Okay.
Europe is probably the worst, but I would go Christmas Vacation, then Christmas Vacation, Vegas Vacation, European.
Okay.
My number 7 is Scrooged. Scrooged, I would put under the hilarious category. It is my favorite author is Charles Dickens, and Scrooged is based on the Charles Dickens story, A Christmas Carol. So it's a Christmas Carol, but a comedy. And Bill Murray there's nothing else to say about him other than he is hilarious. It basically shows you how this character, who was good to begin with, in order to grow through the corporate ladder, he had to sell himself out, right? He had to give up his morals. He had to give up his time, give up his girls to follow up the corporate ladder. And he always said, when I get to the top of the corporate ladder, I'll have all this spare time so I can help you. But he gets up there and he forgot who he was. So he has to be reminded by 3 ghosts. And, he sacrifices to himself to this me first person. So he steals. He fires Elliot. He gives gifts to his brother. He steals the cab from the old lady. He sacrifices his morals. And, he has to change in the end when he meets all the ghosts to get a good interpersonal look at yourself and the actions and how it affects other people. And how, even if you don't have a lot of money or you don't have a lot of wealth, you could still have a very good time. And the ghosts are just hilarious. And there's a great story to be said there. You don't want to be a Scrooge. You want to be a good family.
It's okay to be a Scrooge. Don't listen to this guy.
It's okay to be a Scrooge?
It's okay. Be who you want.
Dope.
It's 2018. You can do what you want to do.
All right, what's your number 7? Your last bad movie before we get into the actual movies you like.
The Grinch with Jim Carrey. See, look, he agrees. Not all movies are great, right?
That's a horrible movie. Anyway, go ahead.
See, there we go. Thank you. I
appreciate
appreciate that. Thank you for agreeing. You have proved my point. I won. I am victorious. The Grinch with Jim Carrey. I'm not a big fan of the Grinch. I hate that. I actually don't like the Grinch at all. I kind of like I'm not gonna lie. The reason why I put this in there is because I really like the song "Where Are You Christmas." It's a very magical song. The path that the girl that actually sung that is a little bit questionable, but you know, live your life. You can do what you want to do. Uh, the thing that I find is just weird is like the way the Whovilles look. They looked very creepy. Kind of like a mixture between like a raccoon and a human. Like I don't know
This is
what's.
supposed to be movies you like. You're criticizing one of your top 10. I just want to throw that out there.
I'm just saying. It's the. Wait till you see what I have to say about all the other movies. But these are the ones that had to crack it, right? We made a list of top 10, not top 5. So this is what we're gonna deal with here, okay?
All right.
I do things my own way. We had this argument. No, I'm just joking. All right, so let's go into something I actually like.
All right, let's see the top 6. Let's see this.
Top 6. I like the Muppets: A Christmas Carol. So,
Borderline didn't make my list. So close.
so really, I love the Muppets. They're amazing. I think I love almost every single movie that they put out. So I have a huge nostalgia factor here. So A Christmas Carol is one of my favorite Christmas movies. I'm not gonna lie, like the concept of it is amazing. And then the Muppets. Add on to the Muppets, it's just magic, okay? I know I hated Christmas magic, but I'm gonna contradict myself here. And I'd be a fool to say like the magic doesn't rub off on you as a person, right? Most of the time it doesn't get me, but you know, these 6 movies, they grow on me, right? So Muppets Gift for Christmas Carol. We all know how the Christmas Carol goes, and we all know the Muppets. I love Kermit. I love Piggy. I love that guy, the Swedish chef. He always made me howl. It was great times. So
Have you seen Scrooged?
Scrooge? No, I haven't seen Scrooge.
If you like A Christmas Carol, that's what the story is. You need to go watch Scrooge. Put it on your list. It'll make your top 7.
Okay. All right. I will do that.
My number 6 movie is Miracle on 34th Street, the 1994 version. Now, I'm not normally a fan of remakes. This movie, though, is fantastic. And it starts and ends with Richard Attenborough. Richard Attenborough plays Santa Claus in this movie, or Kris Kringle, and he is the epitome of what a Santa Claus should be. The nice man. He is so much. It's so hard to believe that he would hurt anybody, and that really adds to the greatness of this movie. You know, Mara Wilson, who plays the Natalie Wood role, asked for 3 things because she grew up. She's a 6-year-old girl who grew up by her mom telling her Santa doesn't exist. And mom doesn't believe Santa exists at all. So this is the ultimate I don't believe in Santa Claus movie. Like, he doesn't exist. And you have this guy who comes in, Richard Attenborough, who says, I am Santa Claus. And he's babysitting Mara Wilson one night, and Mara Wilson's like, I don't believe in you. And
would you believe someone that just walks into your house and says, I am Santa Claus?
Fair enough. So Chris says this to her. Fair enough. Okay, what do you want for Christmas? And she's like this. I want a father. I want a home, a house, because they live in an apartment in New York City. And I want a sibling. If I get those 3 things, I believe in Santa Claus. So it's somewhere just after Thanksgiving at this time in the States. So it's right at the beginning of December. If you got all those, if you ask Santa for all those 3 things and you got them, if this man says he'll give you all 3 things in less than a month, would you believe?
Yeah.
Well, that's what he's gonna do. So he says,
I have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, absolutely, and like you should. But the look on as she's asking for these 3 things, the look on the face of Santa is like, oh boy, that's gonna be tough.
It's a little sad if you think about it. Like,
so this is a warm, cuddly movie for the whole family. It deals with I think it's relevant issues in our society. You know, we live in this society with a lack of faith, and you know, this is, you know, the one thing that Chris says in this movie is if I can't make you believe to the mom, I'm finished, right? Like, it's important to make people believe in something and anything. You know, it's what Christmas is all about. And one thing I really like about this movie is the company Kohl's, who he's the Santa for when he does commit this crime, instead of just kicking him to the curb like we see all the time, right? Not my problem. Kohl's gets behind this Santa Claus and defends the employee. It's a really family friendly movie. Like, Santa Claus gets put on trial. and the entire court team, the entire United States, is literally backing this Santa Claus, and like the other lawyers are trying to put Santa Claus in a mental institution. Like that's what this movie's about. It's so good. And spoiler alert: Mara Wilson gets on the Christmas day a father and a house, and when she tells her mom what the third thing she went for, mom just grabs her stomach because it takes 9 months to have a child.
Oh. Oh my goodness. So,
My number.
spoiler alert. Just quick question. Was it with Santa Claus?
He was. He was Santa Claus.
I figured.
So my number 5 movie is Jingle All the Way.
Wait, where's Mrs. Claus?
Probably back in the North Pole.
How'd she?
He's just going out and doing his thing. Watch the
Okay.
movie. You know what? You gotta watch these movies, okay?
What a Christmas movie, eh? Santa Claus cheats on his wife.
What do you mean?
I thought Mrs. Claus was with the, I thought he... Oh, whoops, my bad. I thought Santa Claus was, dating...
No. So Mara Wilson's mom doesn't sleep with Santa Claus. She sleeps with her new father, like the lawyer who's defending Santa Claus from across the hall.
Oh, I thought Santa
Sorry.
Claus was
Dylan
the...
McDermott's character.
Oh, okay. See, this is why you have to watch the movies.
Yeah,
My bad.
it's so good.
My bad, guys. I was
Warm
quick to take
movie,
the...
cuddly movie for the whole family. So good.
Don't assume things, guys.
My number 5 is Jingle All the Way. Now, when we think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, we like to think action. But I gotta tell you this, his comedic ability is highly overlooked and underrated. He plays this father who's work first, misses his son's events, and all he had to do to get ready for Christmas is to buy his son the Turbo Man doll. It was the toy of the season. And 2 days before Christmas, we find out that he didn't buy the doll. So on Christmas Eve, he is on a mission to try to find this Turbo Man doll. And oh boy, do the little antics that ensue for that last day so good. So him and Sinbad are both looking for this Turbo Man doll. It's just hilarity after hilarity. They go to shopping malls. Arnold Schwarzenegger gets into a fight with a bunch of Santa Clauses. Phil Hartman's in this movie. Sinbad is so funny. He plays a mailman. Arnold Schwarzenegger punches out a reindeer and then gives it eggnog. Some of the lines in this movie, like "It's turbo time" or "Aw, poor baby" or "Put that cookie down," so good. The final sequence with the Turbo Man, where Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Turbo Man and he flies around. It's like a little sci-fi fantasy Christmas movie. It's just a lot of fun. Again, it's family fun, it's funny, and it's enjoyable.
That's hilarious that Jingle All the Way is your number 5. Because guess what my number 5 is?
Jingle All the Way?
Yep.
Yo, nice!
So, you pretty much hit all the points that I was going to talk about. The fact that what I liked, like, as a kid, I watched this movie again and again. Like, it was one of my favorite Christmas movies. Back in the day, it was just such a joy to watch. So, plus I really wanted a Turbo Man toy when I was younger. That was amazing. So the 4th is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That stop motion, that crappy animation, weird thing. I don't know. It has a special place in my heart. It's just, I don't know how to say it. It's just
silver and gold.
You're right. It's like the way it looked, the way that little monster, the Yeti, becomes the friend at the end. The Rudolph being made fun of. Just Rudolph, like, oh, he even gets a girlfriend at the end. You know, it was just a great movie. It's not very long, but when Christmas time came around, that was one of the movies I was most excited for. That's how I knew. I'm like, oh yes, Christmas is here, and I'm probably gonna watch it once this year.
You gotta watch
get a
it
little
every
bit of nostalgia back in my life, you know. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Home Alone. And I'm gonna kind of do this together because my number 3 is Home Alone 2. So I'm gonna kind of combine these two movies.
Okay.
I'll start with the first one. The movie's about forgetting your kid, right? this 8-year-old kid stuck at home, and he learns about responsibility, shopping, overcoming your fears. Right, he's got to go in the basement. He's got to meet the next door neighbor. He cleans the house after it, so like it looks like nothing bad happened except for his brother's room. You know, Harry and Marv, the wet bandits in the first one, robbing the neighborhood, Kevin having to defend his home. It's just a fun movie. And the second one just took to me. The second one's better, but very close because they could do more by going to New York, going to his uncle's house. He didn't have to clean up the house. I thought it went a little bit further. You know, Tim Curry is just hilarious in it. The little action or mobster movie that he plays in both movies. There's so much fun. I gotta be honest, those are probably the last two great slapstick comedy movies made. And if I have to go for funniest scenes, in the first one it would be the paint cans, one after another, and then Harry loses the gold tooth. In the second one, it's probably the bricks, where he just throws the bricks. Or maybe where the paint cans times two, where they play like we've seen this game. He throws the first paint can, he throws the second paint can, then he throws like the silver thing. So good.
I think I always ask one of the questions is like, don't you think like the Home Alone kid's a little bit like murderous, like the way some of those.
It is. It's slapstick comedy, but
Yeah.
I think those movies are they're so funny that all these years later they hold up. Like I can watch both Home Alones this year, and if they came out right now, it'd be just as good if they came out in 1992 when they came out.
Okay, those movies are about as old as I am.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Elf. Big Will Ferrell fan. Back in the early 2000s, I loved Will Ferrell, and I like the concept of this movie. You know, this guy, he never knew he thought he was an elf the whole time, man. I know it sounds weird because he looks at everybody else and they're all small, and got this giant man just walking, towering around, and he's just dressed up as an elf, and then he just goes into New York City or whatever city he was in, and just looks like a buffoon. Everyone's asking him like, what's wrong with this guy? Could you just imagine just seeing some tall guy just like, hey, I believe in Christmas. Where's Santa? What's going on here? Just yelling and everything like that in his high voice. And I mean, like, in this day and age, you're like, okay, where's this guy come from? You know, like, what hospital is this guy escape, right? You know, but now you're... Sorry, I laugh at my own jokes way too much, so you guys are going to have to get used to that. But it's just one of the great movies. I just really enjoyed. It's one of the newest movies I actually enjoyed. I think this is the newest one on my list.
Office Christmas Party is the newest movie.
Well, technically, yeah, but I didn't really like that one, so so it's the third one. So this is the one that I actually oldest that I like on my list.
I thought that would have been your number 1. I'm very curious to know where you're going now.
Oh, you thought that was my number 1? Oh, interesting. My number 1 is very obvious. Well, to me it is. My number 2 is Home Alone. So I agree with you. Just a fun movie, great little laughs. You know, even though that kid should probably be in prison for attempted murder, but
no, they broke into his house. You can defend your own home, and he's 8 years old. No jury in the world will.
Yeah, I know. It's just
that
okay.
Kid should be hired by the government to help them solve problems.
But yeah, I agree with all your points as well. Like, just a very fun Christmas movie, and it's enjoyable. What else is there to say about it? It's just.
We can talk about it for hours.
Yeah.
Probably getting bored of us already.
Yeah, people would probably be like, okay, like, you guys like Home Alone? Okay, cool story. It's not going to get us likes, bro.
No.
We need likes. All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2 movie is It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but it's also from the 40s, from 1946. And you
just love these oldies.
It's, you know what, my mom would be disappointed that it's number 2. This is my mom's favorite movie of all time. My mom would be like, how is this not number 1? And you know, it might be from the 1940s, but every year on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, this movie will be played. It'll probably be played on other days leading up to the Christmas season. It is about there are two main morals in this story. The first is riches, or what it makes a rich man, is not the amount of money you have, but the amount of friends that you have, and that the impact you have on your life is a lot more than just the what you can see. And the concept of this movie is George Bailey is about to kill himself, and everyone in his city is praying to God that they can help George because they know he's going through some tough times. So the head angel talks to Clarence to kind of to set us up. So we know George Bailey saved his brother when he was an infant, or not an infant, but like as a child. He saved a pharmacist from giving out almost faulty information. He always seemed to give up his dreams for other people. He gave up his dream to go to college to run his dad's business after his dad had a heart attack. He gave up his money to go on a honeymoon to save his business. He has 3 kids, a wife. He has a lot of impact on a lot of people. There's other things too. But in the end, everyone helps him, right? It's a timeless classic. It has it all. It's got family. It's got history. It's got comedy, morality, faith. It's got everything. This movie is one everybody should see. It's a Wonderful Life. It should be it's in the top 10. It's probably in the top 5 movies of all time.
Yeah, I
not my favorite, just in general, top 5 movies of all time. And my number 1 movie is Die Hard. And this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who listened to the podcast last week. Terrace, robbing towers over Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. If you watched the podcast last week, you know it's in my top 10 list.
This guy doesn't like Christmas at all. He's lying to us all.
It's a Christmas movie. Ho, ho, ho. I've got a machine gun now. You know, even Bruce Willis says, right? He got invited to a Christmas party by accident. You know, only one man with no shoes can save the day from these terrorists. It's just got great action. It's just a great movie. It's fun. It's exciting. It's great. It's probably the best action movie ever.
This guy's list is invalid. Don't listen to anything. Just please comment how bad this list is. This is a fake Christmas movie, number 1.
All right, you're up.
Okay, so my number 1 is one of the most recently it's been very controversial, but I don't care. I still love this movie. It's A Christmas Story. Lately it's been getting a lot of slack for racial relations, and I apologize, but me and my family, we grew up watching this. I remember one night we were just flipping through the channels, and then we saw this movie, and we watched it, and we thought it was hilarious. Like, we loved this movie. It was great. I just cannot stop watching. Just from the very part that the kid wants a BB gun. And, like, the whole movie is based on him trying to get this BB gun, looking up for reasons to get this BB gun. He writes this long essay thinking he's going to get a BB gun. Everyone tells him the same thing. You'll shoot your eye out. He goes to Santa Claus, asks him for it, tells him he shoots his eye out. He finally gets the BB gun. What happens? He shoots his eye out. But he makes up this big giant lie that it's not good, that some people he got hit in the face with an icicle and stuff like that. It's just me. I relate to it so much because that's how I am when I just really wanted a toy, and I would just tell everybody about that toy, and I was just so excited to get that toy, right? It's just what happened to me is I didn't shoot my eye out for the toys I got, but it was just I don't know, just you don't have that kind of magic anymore in most Christmas movies because they kind of suck, but you know what happens.
Yeah. Can I suggest something?
What?
I think I know why you don't like Christmas movies.
Why?
Because you haven't seen the good Christmas movies.
Like
I look at your list, and I gotta be honest. You think you're making fun of my list? I bet you that, especially when my list, if we put like against like, my list, we get more likes than your list.
Well, you don't even have a real Christmas movie as number 1. So
it is a Christmas movie. A lot of people would say Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
They just say it to make themselves feel better.
Didn't you last week tell me that if Die Hard wasn't my number 1, wasn't my number 1 Christmas movie, you would say my list is invalidated?
We have to get to the tape. I think we need to cut that.
Not on tape, but I remember you right after we were done filming. We were talking about this. You said, "I already know what your number 1 movie is."
I said I do it. I just knew it's not a Christmas movie.
It is. Oh boy, takes place on Christmas Eve. It's a Christmas party. It's just like Office Christmas Party. It's the exact same thing.
Okay.
It's a Christmas party that
We will
Bridgeville is going
agree to disagree.
Fair enough. But I tell you, you got to watch some movies. It's a Wonderful Life.
I
You got to watch
will.
Scrooge.
I gotta get some catching up to do.
Yeah, you got to watch some. If you watch, I don't understand how Home Alone 2 is not on your list.
I thought we could only do one Home Alone, and I didn't want to put both of the same movies. So yeah, your list is also valid. 'Cause you put two the same movie. Well, not the same movies, but two Home Alones. So
I'm just saying. I bet you if we
you have to pick one.
On the comment, if you guys would
He's
like
missing two movies on his list.
do me a favor on the comments, please write which list you like better, mine or Xavier's.
Have a vote. I know I'm
general.
gonna win.
You know what? If you win, I will respect the people's opinion, but I have faith that the people will go in the idea of hope and perspective and family than juggernauts all over the place.
Juggernauts. I don't know what you're talking about. This list is the best list I've at the time. It's sometimes you have some struggles. Trying to figure out what you like. But
you put oh no, I'm sorry. Die Hard was on your list too, right?
Yeah, I said number 10. I said at the beginning that it doesn't really count. I just put it there because I just now I'm not even speaking properly. I said put it there. What is this? The Rugrats? I can't talk like that.
All right. So there you have it. There are our lists. Please comment on which list you like better, mine or Xavier's, because one of our egos need to be stroked. And please leave your own lists and of your top 10 movies to see what we left out. I know that there are a couple like Muppet Christmas Carol and The Grinch and the Santa Claus that were very close to making my list. How the Grinch, the new one in theaters, but How the Grinch That Stole Christmas wasn't even on my radar.
Fair enough.
So just we're at that time. We're at the end of the podcast. Thank you.
End.
Thank you very much for sticking to this long podcast. Please subscribe to our website and like this video. And Xavier, thank you again for coming. Always a pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I know my opinions are probably the worst, but
we're gonna find
thank
out.
You for,
I like how you just said your opinions are the worst. Does that mean my movies are better than yours?
Not on that.
Not on that. So other than that, your opinions are the worst. Other than your top 10 list.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm proud of in my life right now.